Please never make me a love song. That is corny. Trust me. I've seen.
One of my baddest women ever, I call her Rihanna.
The fairy tale, like, oh, Drake started a family with Rihanna. Like, this is like so perfect.
Everything's going to be very light. Not going to get like heavily into things.
No, I get heavy on a couple joints, but this is more about me and Serena. So I
gathered. I gathered that.
It appears that Rihanna has finally had enough of Drake's strange behavior, and she is calling him out for continuing to talk about her even after all these years. As we all know, Drake was in love with Riri for years, but she never lost that same energy, and when she moved on with A$AP Rocky, Drake abruptly turned into a bitter ex, dragging her into his beef with Kendrick every chance he got. Now, he's trying to convince everyone that he never really cared about her like that, but the receipts are there, and Rihanna herself is speaking out. But why did Rihanna now decide to call out Drake after all these years? And why are Drake's fans dragging her for finally speaking her truth? Let's break it down. Drake's diehard fans are now calling Riri every term in the book, and it's really getting out of control.
She's someone I've been in love with since I was 22 years old.
It appears that Rihanna just made a major jab at Drake in her new promo for her Savage X Fenty line ahead of Valentine's Day, and fans are loving it.
Love song or love letter?
Ugh. Please never make me a love song. That is corny. Trust me. I've seen.
If you know anything about Rihanna's past, you know that fans immediately thought of Drake, who has made a career out of spilling his heart out in the booth and writing numerous songs about his one-sided infatuation with her. However, Drake's fans are now going to the extreme and dragging Rihanna's name through the mud as if she's the one still hanging on him. A screenshot of Drake's song, Fear of Heights, in which he disparaged Rihanna for being mediocre in bed, was posted by one of Drake's fans. The caption read, "My forehead hasn't recovered since." And another OVO fan wrote, "It's all fun and games till Drake claps back with 2 bars in a song. Then y'all will be crying on Twitter for 7 days and making YouTube video essays calling him a misogynist." However, the irony is that Drake is the only person who has been in love with Rihanna for years, while Rihanna has already started a family with A$AP Rocky. Drake, at his advanced age, still hasn't had a long-term relationship, and no woman has ever publicly claimed him. To give you some background on Drake's strange obsession with Rihanna, they first met back in 2005 while Rihanna was in Toronto, filming the Pondera replay video. Drake claims to have been in love from the beginning, but let's face it, Rihanna wasn't feeling him that way. Shortly after their first encounter, she began dating Chris Brown, and Drake was out there constantly disparaging Chris Brown. However, the two broke up after that DV situation. Drake abruptly changed his ways and began acting cool with Chris, even working on 2 songs together.
We just both grew up to the point that like that person that was kind of, you know, in the middle of us is like no longer a part of like either of our like lives currently. I was hearing from people that he was in a really good space to link up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, I think like that show when he came out, it was like one of those like best buds moments, you know? It was like, man, we're best buds. We missed all these years.
Returning to the rumors of Rihanna and Drake dating, they were spotted getting cozy at Lucky Strike Bowling Alley in New York City in May 2009. Rihanna quickly dispelled the rumors, stating that she was only having fun with Drake and wasn't seeking a serious relationship. However, did that stop Drake from swooning over her? He continued to bring her up whenever he had the chance.
Over the duration of our knowing each other,
Mm-hmm.
I think we've done some normal things. I don't know if we've ever played board games, but I mean, I know we go bowling a lot. Not necessarily with Rihanna a lot.
Okay, just you and your crew.
We've been bowling before. And then, you know, I love doing like just, to me, the club is work, you know, the majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to do things like go to the arcade and play
Mm-hmm.
games, or go bowling, play ping pong, go-karting, paintball, which we haven't done because these guys are scared.
Okay.
Because I'm the best, you know what I'm saying? My squad
You're
is the best.
the best. Even,
Yeah.
you would say.
I'm the, you know. But yeah, so Yeah, I mean, we do things to have fun all the time.
I see. I mean,
I see you wrote down Scrabble and battle.
yeah, I did because I had to remember. Look,
right.
I've got to remember my jokes by numbers for her.
I think she's. I think we're in the same building. Maybe I'll ask her if she wants to play Scrabble.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Drake and Rihanna themed Scrabble.
That's kind of sexy.
It is sexy Scrabble.
You never know where that could end.
Drake took advantage of Rihanna's dismissal of their brief bowling date, literally turning it into a song called Fireworks, in which he sings, "Who could have predicted Lucky Strike would have you stuck with me?" Although Rihanna was obviously not stuck with Drake, he continued to talk about her in interviews as if he couldn't move on, and since she continued to ignore him, Drake began disparaging her, accusing her of encouraging him and giving him false hope. In his 2010 interview with the New York Times, Drake claimed he felt like Rihanna's pawn. However, a few years later, Drake began to gushing about Rihanna once more, telling Rolling Stone that she was still the ultimate fantasy. When they eventually reconnected and collaborated on a song, Drake took it as a sign that she was ready to be with him. Fast forward to the 2016 VMAs, when Drake took the stage and essentially confessed his undying love for Rihanna while giving her the Vanguard Award. However, Rihanna didn't feel that Drake had completely taken over her special moment. The energy was off, and it was clear that the love was one-sided.
But most of all, we love the woman who hasn't changed since day one. She's someone I've been in love with since I was 22 years old.
Rihanna finally spilled the tea in a Vogue interview in 2018, saying that wading through Drake's speech was probably the most uncomfortable part. She also added, "I don't like too many compliments, and I don't like to be put on blast." And when asked, if and Drake are still in touch, Rhi said, "We don't have a friendship now, but we're not enemies either. It is what it is." However, as you can see, Rihanna didn't cut Drake off because of that embarrassing VMA speech. In reality, she learned from mutual friends that Drake had been hiding a whole son with a French adult film star. Naturally, Push then came through and exposed Drake as a deadbeat, essentially pressuring him to become a father.
I'm speaking about the character of a man. I'm speaking about the principles of a man. I'm talking about, when we get into, where do we stop? When we get into the even the part about the child, it's like, man, I'm just trying to get the listeners to understand. It's like, I think there's something wrong up here. You have a whole child. You speak to me in your raps. You talking to me. You speak to me when you're multi-million. I feel like, okay, bang, you got multi-millions. You mean you got multi-millions and a whole child that's not like in arm's reach? Like my peers who have children, because I don't have children, and I want children. And I'm gonna have children.
Yes, sir.
Right? So what I'm saying is my peers who like, in this, they on the gram, they taking pictures, put chains on their sons for their birthday. And, Khaled, he walk around with his son. Like it's like a thing. And I'm like, again, who is this? Like, you got a whole child that you suppressing. You're not even, you got a whole child that nobody knows about. It's real. It's real. It ain't ghostwriting ain't alleged. The reference tracks ain't alleged. The baby ain't alleged. It's not alleged. It's real. That's it. And my point with that is just saying we can't even know about something that's like so precious. We can't even know about the kid, right? But we can know about it when you roll it out with your alleged new Adidas deal. You can roll out, that information with a sweatsuit and some sneakers.
Even though Rihanna made it clear that she wasn't trying to claim him, Drake couldn't help but talk about her like she was the one who got away. That same year, after Rihanna told Vogue that she and Drake were no longer friends, Drake appeared on the show with LeBron and Maverick Carter and discussed how people believed he was going to settle down and start a family with Rihanna. So, by that point, Rihanna was officially done with Drake, but instead of letting their drama out, she kept it classy and stopped bringing him up at all.
I end up in this situation where I don't have the fairy tale like, oh, Drake started a family with Rihanna and like this is like so perfect, or like Drake. Yeah, it's like it looks so good on paper.
I wanted that too.
I didn't get it too. By the way, I wanted that.
But here's the thing: when Rihanna dated ASAP Rocky, Drake was gushing about her and thinking about what could have been. But as soon as Rihanna confirmed her relationship with Rocky, Drake completely changed his mind. He started acting like a bitter, misogynistic hater, trash-talking both Rihanna and ASAP, saying he wasn't hung up on her, and even calling her average in the bedroom. If you thought that was crazy, it gets even more crazy when you see how Drake actually thought she'd settle down and have children with him. Drake seems to have developed into that guy who gets completely enamored with a girl, but as soon as she rejects him or chooses someone else, he starts disparaging her, claiming that she was never really all that. Most men get over this stage in high school, but for Drake it seems to have gotten worse with age.